It's Breakfast with Bob.
And Pacho Man, everybody! Yeah! Welcome, day 4, Breakfast with Bob, Kona World Championship edition from beautiful Huggles on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA, Fly Human Fly, Master Spas, Precision Fuel and Hydration, Crush Your Race Nutrition, Deboer, Outrigger, Kona Resort and Spa, stay longer, save more, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest from the UK, give it up for Steph Clutterbuck. Oh my God! We got the Clutterbuck fans in the house. How you doing, Steph?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I am wonderful. I get to chat with you. I appreciate that.
That's very kind of you.
So you've been here twice before as an age grouper, but going back even further, swimming background to begin with?
Yes. Yeah, I grew up in a swimming pool, so I think I started racing when I was about 7.
Okay.
I spent my whole childhood in a swimming pool.
What was your stroke and your distance?
I was a 200 backstroker.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Mark Allen was a backstroker at UCSC.
There's a bizarre high number of us that are. That
Backstrokers.
do triathletes. Yeah.
Very cool.
I wonder if we came away without shoulder injuries. So
that's true. Exactly. So after swimming's done, was that after college? Did you swim through college?
So I stopped swimming when I was 19.
Okay.
So in the UK, we have something called a gap year.
Right.
So after school, before university, I took a year out to swim to see if I could qualify for the Commonwealth Games, which is like
huge.
Yeah. And I didn't. So I was like, I'm just going to go to uni. I'm going to stop with high performance sport. I've given it 12 years of my life. I'm ready to move on. And I started rowing, which is another kind of
high intensity.
A lot
power.
of training. And that became my next obsession for the next 5 years.
So then you became Cam Worth. Okay, so
Yes,
started with rowing. Okay, and again, was that the thought? I want to go to the Olympics.
Yes,
of course,
definitely. So I had the Olympic dream was what kept me going throughout swimming and then also rowing.
Was this singles, double? What?
I did most of my training in a single scull.
Okay. Yeah, why hang out with somebody else when you do your own?
I am a massive introvert, so more time by myself is better.
The better, yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you get to the point with rowing where you're like, I need to find something else?
So I picked up a nasty back injury quite early on when I was rowing. So I herniated 2 discs in my back.
Oh my God.
And displaced 2 nerves, one of them down to my foot, which still kind of is not quite right to this day. And I trained with it for about 3.5 years, but the impact on my mental health from having chronic pain was really quite extreme, and in my final year I was having panic attacks weekly in training sessions, and I kind of lost the ability to visualize being on a start line.
Right.
And at that point I knew it was done. There was no way for me to carry on and kind of come back, so I stopped, and I did not feel particularly good about myself. Like, I felt like I'd failed in 2 sports. I hadn't gotten anywhere close to what I wanted to achieve, and I actually felt really weak.
Interesting.
So I signed up for an Ironman because they were really hard.
Wait. Okay, I think we're missing a gap there. Usually you go from swimming to rowing to, I think I'll do a 5K. I think I'll jump into a sprint triathlon. Not, I'm done with rowing, so I'll do an Ironman.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, there was no gap.
There was no gap whatsoever.
So I signed up, and I didn't own a bike. So actually Jack Schofield, who's here in the crowd, helped me buy a bike.
Nice.
I then actually, so the interim was I cycled the length of the UK, which was 1,500 kilometers.
And at that point, obviously, you got yourself a bike.
Well, yeah. So 2 weeks before I started, I bought a bike. And then I was like, this is, I've done 1,500 kilometers. What's 180? So I figured that I'd be all right doing that. But I couldn't run.
Well, and you knew the swim was going to be no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do the swim. I refused to swim before my first one, but I knew I could do the swim.
Yeah.
So I had to, I learned to run, and I genuinely started off running a kilometer, and my heart rate was like at 200 for just an easy run. Like, I couldn't. It was not a movement that was natural.
Well, you'd never really done it, right?
No.
Everything was you're rowing and you're swimming. You're not doing anything weight bearing.
I was lying down and sitting down.
Yes. No, it's nothing weight bearing whatsoever.
No.
So what was the first triathlon?
My first triathlon was Blenheim Triathlon in the UK, so it was a sprint distance. So I was kind of semi-sensible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't jump and do your first race at Ironman.
No, my second was
an Ironman. All right. Second was an Ironman.
Yeah.
So the first Ironman was which one?
Copenhagen.
Oh, well, if you're going to do one. do something pretty.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. And it was for a beginner, it was just the best race to do because
Right.
logistically it was so easy. You fly in, you get on the train into the city centre. It's it's a sea-ish swim.
Yep.
So it's salt water, but there's no waves. The bike's super flat, and the core support on the run was just incredible. And I spent quite a lot of it walking, so it was great.
So you had all these people
Yeah, it was
to give you
wonderful.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not really, those things aren't really races, they're catered workouts, right? Because they're handing you food throughout the way. You don't
It's
have to
a
bring anything
moving
with
picnic.
you. It's
Yep.
a moving, mobile picnic. That's another way to look at it. So when did you feel with this? Okay, so you did your first Ironman, and obviously you're thinking, well, I think I want to go to World Championships and be the best in the world. That was probably your next thought?
So the overwhelming thought on that first one was, this is the worst day of my life.
Exactly.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yep.
And I crossed the finish line. I was like, well, I have to do another one of those.
Of course you do.
I
Yeah, because
can't not.
this is suffering, and I like to suffer. Let me suffer more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think actually a week later, I signed up to do Ironman Italy the following year.
Nice.
But
yes.
the pandemic hit.
Oh, so that was gone.
So everything went. So I actually had 18 months of uninterrupted training for what would be my next Ironman, which was Portugal in 2021.
And at that point, you're actually probably training
Properly.
with a program.
Yes.
I don't know if you had a coach or not, but at least you're able to look online and figure out how to do this running thing, legs go in front of each other.
Yeah.
Figure that part out.
Exactly. I could run for more than a kilometre at a time.
That's
And
a good thing.
I knew what a power meter was and
Yes.
what watts were. And I was actually swimming again because I think before Copenhagen I did like 6 swims because I just hated it.
Because you don't want to look
do
at
it.
that black line. You'd done your time. You were like some prisoner. You had done your
That's
looking
what
at a black
I felt
line.
like.
Exactly.
I've given my soul to this sport. I'm not doing any more than I absolutely have to.
And the sport gave you nothing. Come on now.
It gave me nothing. But
Yeah.
then I realised, 3.8k without stopping is actually much harder than 200 backstrokes. So
Yes.
I should probably do a little bit of swimming for that.
Okay, so the progression from that to coming here, qualifying as an age
Yeah.
grouper to come here.
Yeah, so in Portugal, that was my first win. So I was overall age group winner.
In Portugal?
Yes, in
And this
Portugal.
was your second
Second Ironman.
Ironman. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're seeing that your
It was-
talent is shining through a little bit.
Yeah, I had learned how to do triathlon and realised that I could maybe be quite good at it.
And then, of course, you immediately became a pro. Another year
I
later.
had another year.
Okay.
So it was at that point that, for me, the pro dream started.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, maybe I could be really good at this.
Mm-hmm.
I was terrified to commit to another sport because
You'd been
tried
burned.
twice.
Come on now. Yeah.
And it's to pick yourself back up from failures like that when you give your heart and soul to
Right.
it. It's really hard. So it was the first moment I was like, oh, maybe this is something that I could do. So we committed, and we committed wholeheartedly. And by that, we grew my social media platform, because if at some point I was to turn professional, we wanted to make sure that I had a brand that was compelling for people to follow, and I had a platform to share the story on,
Right.
as well as the training side of it. And yeah, so I didn't actually take my license for another 2 years after that
Really?
Portugal win. Yeah. My 2022 season was the one that I'd hoped to qualify, but I picked up an injury and did not have a good year race-wise. I turned
Okay.
up to Kona, I had a DNF, I got to the energy lab and was on the side of the road with heat stroke, waiting to be picked up by medical, and kind of came back and we were like, right, we need to completely reassess what we've done, because this year has just not gone to plan. And I think it was about 8 months later at Vitoria-Gasteiz, I again won overall age group and got what I needed to qualify for my professional license.
So what was your first pro race? Was that 2024?
It was. So my
Yes.
first pro race was Valencia 70.3, but I hit a pothole at 7k into the bike and broke my wheel. So it ended quite quickly.
DNF, okay.
Yeah. So I like to say that my first pro race was Mallorca 70.3 in May 24.
May of 24. And how'd you do there?
I think I was 10th. It was a Pro Series race, which was like really jumping in at the deep end.
Yeah.
Racing with like Emma Pallant-Brown and Laura Phillip, which was very cool.
Yeah.
And very surreal. But yeah, it was a good day out, and it was a great way to learn the different dynamics that you experience in pro racing. Because age group, I'm a good swimmer, so I'm out on my own all day.
Right.
Whereas all of a sudden there are people around me, and that's different. That's fun. I get to race, so it was great.
That is very cool. And so in 2024, I see Chattanooga.
Yes.
And Chattanooga had no swim,
No swim.
which is a total bummer for you.
Yeah.
And you got second there. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, there was no swim and you got second. So you had to look at that as a huge victory for you.
100%.
Right?
I think because before then I tied my success to my ability to swim well.
Right.
And then I turn up to a race, there is no swim. And I know that there are a lot of incredible athletes that are very good at running, and that is not what I consider my strength. So I was like, well, we're just going to have to see what comes out today, because this is clearly not the day that we planned for. And I ended up having the race of my life, and it was incredible. And everything just came together at the right moment, put together just a day that, to this day, I'm incredibly proud of.
Well, it's interesting because without the swim, and that's obviously your best thing, you ran like, what, a 3:05 marathon?
Yeah.
You ran a 3:05 marathon.
I ran a 3:05 marathon.
And normally
That's quite cool.
you think the swim doesn't take much out of me because I've got this great swim background, but you rode 4:14 and ran 3:05.
Yeah, so the asterisk to that is the bike course was a bit short.
It was short, that's right.
It was
right.
a bit short. But it was fast. It was 172k. I think it was
so
over
8K
40k
short.
an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so maybe we lost like 10 minutes, 12 minutes. How much would that impact the run? I don't know, but still, I put together 3:05 on what is quite a hilly course.
Well, but you also, it gives you confidence knowing that can happen. I remember talking to Kat Matthews the other day, and she was talking about she'd been running, 2:58-ish, and then all of a sudden she ran 2:49.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, well, that's where I should be.
Yeah.
This is not a fluke. This is who I am. Well, 3:05 that should be the standard for you when you do
100%.
any of these races, right?
Yeah. And now it's less scary. It's like, okay, I can aim for that, and we can try and get close to that again. And I'd wanted this year. I'd wanted to rerun that. I wanted to get a 3:05 again, just to be like, oh, it's not a fluke. I have done it. But obviously that hasn't quite happened yet.
Well, but you're also talk a little about the heart issues that you've been dealing with.
Yeah. So back in May, I started to. Well, it was actually the third time, but I started to experience consistent chest pain, and I was out for a run. I was doing a threshold run, and it felt like I was being stabbed in the chest. And it was terrifying. So we went to hospital. We had a load of tests done, and they kind of came back, and they were like, "Oh, we're not really sure what's wrong. Your heart stress hormone is elevated, so you've had some sort of cardiac event, but we don't really know what. But we'll get back to you."
We'll get back to you.
And I was like, I don't really feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm an athlete. This is my job. So can I train? Can I exercise? Am I safe to go to sleep? Like, what? Am I at risk? Do I need someone watching me all of the time? So we went kind of private healthcare and paid for some sports-specific specialists to have a look. And I ended up being diagnosed about a month later with something called myocarditis, which is inflammation in the myocardium, which is the muscle around my heart.
Okay.
And it's not good. It's definitely not good, and it's not something that goes away without rest. So I was on strict rest for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Through June, yeah.
And at that point, you had qualified for Kona.
Yes.
So
I knew Kona was coming.
Yes.
But I couldn't do anything about it.
But and how do you deal with it? I mean, is it medication? Is it just rest?
So myocarditis is just rest.
Oh, wow.
It's, you need to let the muscle heal. It's kind of like a tear or a strain.
And they think it's from the training and racing?
It's from a virus.
Okay.
So I think it's one of those that we've had viruses kicking around forever, but much more prevalent since the pandemic. It could be as a result of long COVID. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a long COVID?
I had COVID twice, and I have experienced alongside the myocarditis some really crazy symptoms with regards to my nervous system that we think it's all tied together.
Okay.
So yeah, likely long COVID.
So when you tell your doctors that, hey, I'm just going to go through this silly thing in 100-degree heat, that's 180K, and it's a marathon, 112 and 2.4, that shouldn't be much stress, should it?
They did look at me like I had lost all of my marbles.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was a conversation we had with them early. I was like, look, I've got this deadline of 11th of October. I'm racing the World Championships in the full distance Ironman. Can we get there? Is that feasible? And the answer was maybe. If you rest really hard. I was like, okay, max effort resting. I can do that. We'll roll with that. And the agreement that we had is that I had to be sensible. I had to keep checking with my body. If anything didn't feel right, pressing ahead to get here would be too dangerous.
Right.
Like, it's not like I've kind of torn my bicep and re-torn my bicep, and it's a bit of an inconvenience. Like, this is my heart.
Yeah.
So I had to be sensible. I couldn't be athlete Steph. I had to be sensible Steph.
Well, and also, so you come here, and it's a different mindset.
Yeah.
You're coming here to enjoy every second of it.
Yes.
You hopefully next year you'll be able to come back and race it.
Yeah.
But this year it's about touring a little bit, getting a feel. Not
sure.
like you need a feel for the course because you've been here twice, but it's different as the pro.
I am here with immense amounts of gratitude. I think beyond the health issues that I've been through this year, we have experienced 2 tremendous losses in my life away from triathlon, but related to triathlon. So this year is so much bigger than can I or can I not race the World Championship.
Right.
And it's a celebration of everything that we've been through in the last 8 months. And I want to do everybody justice, the people that aren't here, the people that are here, because I know how much goes into races like this, and I want to make sure that I am leaving, it's no stone unturned, but also enjoying every second for the people that don't necessarily get to do it.
So you were able to do a training camp in Lanzarote with Kat Matthews, Mark Matthews, who were, just really dull, not very exciting, just want to hang out and do nothing, mellow.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. How much fun did you have?
We had amazing amounts of fun. So it was in Austria, and it was somewhere that none of us...
Austria?
Yeah, it was
okay.
Austria.
Okay.
Which was even more exciting because none of us had been there before.
Wow.
And we had like the logistics. So you go, Lanzarote is great because you know exactly where the swimming pool is, you know where you want to cycle when you have specific interval lengths, like all that. We turn up to Austria halfway up a mountain and we're like, okay, now what? So we're driving for 20 minutes
Mark's
every day.
Idea?
Yeah, I think it probably was, yeah.
Okay.
Driving down the mountain for 20 minutes every day to get to the swimming pool that has 1 lane in it, but it was so beautiful. It was such an adventure, and for me, at a point that I was so unfit. Like, I really was unfit, and I was not really ready to be training in an environment where I had things to measure against. Which, when you're at home, you're like, oh, this route normally takes me this amount of time, and I'm usually running this speed. I couldn't be dealing with that.
Right.
So going somewhere that was totally new and totally different, where for me, the excitement of the adventure and being there with Kat and learning from her was kind of more overwhelming than I've got to run this speed and hope for the best.
Right. How ready is Kat for this race?
She is ready.
She is really ready.
Yes, she is ready.
You can tell when people are very calm and they're just...
She's really relaxed as well. And I said this to her face, so I'm quite happy saying it on here. She's super relaxed, which I love to see.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's when we all bring our best.
Well, because you've done everything. It's not like I got a late start or you're dealing with an injury. She's been healthy, happy, ready to rock.
Ticking boxes, which is all we ever want.
Exactly. I love it. Well, for you, just getting to this finish line is going to be a huge victory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And I had that in 2023. It was get to the finish line. And this time I want to have a positive finish. I want to run well.
Right.
Because if I run well, I've managed myself incredibly well for the rest of the race.
Absolutely. And sometimes when you come into something with lower expectations, you exceed them.
And I know that I'm not overtrained as well.
Karen Spires, the winner of the 1995 Ironman, her classic line was, it's been better to be 10% undertrained than 1% overtrained. Now, maybe you're 50% undertrained, but that's still okay. It's better than 1% overtrained. Maybe 60, whatever it happens to be. Steph, treat to get to meet you. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, round of applause for Steph. Poncho Man.
I don't know where I'm gonna go, 'cause it's breakfast with Bob.
And Poncho Man, everyone.
Yes, sir.